Good morning. I hope you're having a wonderful day. So today we're going to learn about we're going to try to touch a little bit on poems. Yeah, so poems are very descriptive. Yeah, they're very descriptive, but ambiguous meaning. To think really hard for you to what to know what the person is saying. And of course, there are many other things you can think of: social, political context of which your poem was written on. So they really make you think, and they make you think. And of course, by design, many of them are ambiguous. They do not want to be very direct, alright? But of course, that is changing. As you can see, there are some new poets coming up. They are very direct. Um, they are, of course, migrating from the traditional ambiguous poems. They're now starting to be more direct, giving a more direct approach. So here, open page 23. Yeah. So it's still on the topics of diaries and journals, but of course here on page 23 there's a poem which we'll try to analyze together. I hope I have your attention. So, Road to Lakovia, I'll be explaining to you stanza by stanza. Alright? Okay. This is a long, forbidden road, a narrow had aisle of asphalt, under a high Gothic arc of bamboos. Along it, a woman drags a makeshift barrow in slanting rain and thunder. A thin woman who wears no shoes. Okay, so this first paragraph here, if you can see the first line, this is a long, forbidding road, a narrow, hard aisle of asphalt. Of course, why is it forbidden? Maybe for you to reach there, it's really, really hard. Like, what you can think about the destination, maybe it's really, really hard. That's why it's what? Forbidden, alright? Or maybe the way it looks, simply how you can visualize it, how it looks. It's not really inviting at all. So here, a narrow, hard aisle of asphalt. Okay. So here, think about a hard, narrow aisle of asphalt. As you can see, the last line of that stanza says, "A thin woman who wears no shoes." Of course, if she has no shoes, it would be very hard for her to walk on what a hard aisle of asphalt. It would be very hard for her to do so because it would hurt her feet. A high Gothic arc of bamboos. Think about a Gothic arc, right? Of course, what comes to our mind, well, what it invokes in our mind, this description of something that is not friendly. Of course, it gives us an impression or a sort of negative impression, right? Think about the Gothic structures. They are very serious. They are very um, formal kind of structures, right? So here, of course, this description here is sort of a negative description, or rather, very formal, serious description. Of course, bamboos cannot form a Gothic art, but the bamboos here, they seem as if they bring out a kind of serious and they form somewhat something that looks like an arc, right? I hope I'm being clear here. Okay, so we're going on. Along it, a woman drags a makeshift barrow. Of course, a makeshift barrow is something, you think about a barrow, like a wheelbarrow. Okay, so a makeshift barrow is something that she had made it herself, made by hand or something like that. In slanting rain and thunder. Again, we're being brought. This is a description, wonderful description here of how the rain and the thunder looked like. A thin woman who wears no shoes. Of course, again, this is a description. So we are getting an impression that the woman here is not what? Is not well to do. She's poor. She doesn't have shoes on, and she's thin, which also shows that what she does not really eat well, she's emaciated perhaps. Then she is dragging a makeshift barrel. So here we know that she does hard labor. Okay? So we can think of the countryside maybe, alright? Let's go on to the next stanza here. This is Saint Elizabeth. Of course, Saint Elizabeth, we use Saint Elizabeth, but Saint, of course, it usually refers to, for example, churches, alright? A hard parish to work. Again, this is a little ambiguous. Is he talking about a parish, a place, or is he talking about the church? It's not really direct here, but let's see more. But when you are born on land, you want to work that land. Of course, here, two meanings of land have been given. Land as in the place that you, what? Like a farm or say a garden. And land as in the place, isn't it? Where you call home. Okay? So here, the land you're born in, as in home, the place you're born in, and land. You have to work that land, as in you have to go to the farm and till on it and work on it. Nightfall comes here swift and harsh and deep but garish. Flames of lightning show up, torn in cheap clothing barely patched up. So here, of course, we're being introduced to nightfall. Yeah. It says it comes very fast. So the question I'm asking ourselves is, are they looking for daylight, or do they feel that daylight is not enough for them to work on the land? Alright? Of course, nightfall is a negative aspect. It's not positive at all. It's not positive at all. It brings out a negative sort of feeling, right? And then we are being introduced to the word garish, which means excessively bright or excessively bright. But of course, the word garish can also refer to clothes. So here we are being offered a contrast of what? Bright, brightness, and also the contrast to something that is not really bright, something that is blunt or rather ugly. That which are the clothes, the torn clothes of the person that he or she, the person she's wearing, right? So here, the garish flames of lightning, something bright, something, of course, is being contrasted to the what? To the torn clothes, which are bland and not beautiful at all. But of course, we also know that garish can also be used to refer to clothes. So here, the writer has carefully and cleverly manipulated that in order to show or to bring out the unpleasantness of the clothes themselves. A face patterned by the leaving. Every sharp line of this etching has a mark of struggle. Let's go. A face patterned by leaving. So of course, we think about old people, their faces patterned, isn't it? Think about the wrinkles and whatnot. But here, the leaving here, we don't know the age of this woman, but of course she's lived a very hard life. So her face is patterned, maybe because of the elements. She doesn't have enough resources or maybe even the lotion that you think of. It's patterned. Every sharp line of this aging has a mark of struggle. Okay, so think about aging. Yeah, a design on glass or metal using what? Acid. Okay, so here it's saying she has struggled a lot, and this is trying to say that the lines on her face show the struggles that she has. Alright, so she really does have a lot of lines on her face. To the eye, unyielding, bleak earth has brought her close to Feynman. Yes, but this in the dark, this woman dares to walk and sing. So think about it here. Blick earth. So it's really bare. Think about it like Feynman. Times the land is bare, barely any water coming from the skies, no rain at all. Yeah. So here we can say maybe the things that she's yielding out are what are not really enough for her. She's at the blink of fame and she's almost reaching the what point of fame, right? Yeah. Of course, unyielding here, the word unyielding is used in two different ways. For example, if you're unyielding, you're not giving up. Yeah. Right? So here also unyielding is saying here there's no yields at all, and it's not producing anything at all. Right? Yet through this wild descent of dark, this woman dares to walk and sing. So it's almost dark, isn't it? But of course, if you think about it, dark it's also ominous that something bad is about to happen. Yeah. Is it literal dark or figurative dark? We don't know yet, but of course, it does make sense in both ways. This woman dares to walk and sing. Of course, she seems to not care about all these things. She seems perfectly content. Yeah, she's singing and walking here. But of course, from the observer's point of view, we can see the hardships that she's going through. Alright, so I hope this was a wonderful lesson here. So your task here will be to read the poem again as much as you can. Use a dictionary, remember, and write your own analysis of the whole poem, about 100 words, what you understand from the poem, and focus on the imagery, for example, the metaphors, the similes, or of course the senses. I hope you're having a wonderful time. Thank you very much. Thank you.